What's up, guys? Welcome to A Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's episode, I'm going to go over the 1-3-5 method for earning $50,000 a year reselling stuff online. Let's get straight into it. This is actually modified from the book The One Thing with Gary Keller. In that book, he says that you don't need a fancy business plan. What you need is a one-pager with one main goal, 3 strategies to reach that goal, and then 5 ideas per strategy. Now, I've adapted this for you guys and made a one-page document for you guys. It's free in the description below, and I've modified it to fit a $50,000 a year goal. So this is the magic number for the first goal, which is reaching $50,000 a year. How do you actually do that? The magic number is $75,000 listed. Okay, so 75K of actual market value worth of goods listed on eBay. You can find that number in the active section of your eBay Seller Hub. So if you have stuff that's worth 75K and you pay less than $25,000 worth for that inventory, and you have a 20% sell through, that means that your stuff is going to sell through in 5 months. What that means is it translates to $15,000 a month in sales. If 1/3 is profit, that's $5,000 profit. There's your income that replaces your 9 to 5. That's the holy grail. So $75,000 of stuff listed is the magic number. Write that down. That's your deity. This is your North Star. This is what's entered into the GPS, 75,000 listed. So now you need a strategy to get that. You need 3 strategies actually to help you reach that goal. I'm going to select 3 for you guys, but you may want to modify the document because your 3 things might be different. So the first thing that I've come up with is you need a sourcing system to get the stuff to come into your store. And you want to come up with 5 ways to help you do that. So the 5 ways that I've come up with are, number 1, spend 1 hour a day looking through Terapeak. Terapeak is eBay's research tool. Go through there for an hour a day and figure out what items are selling, what categories are hot, and you really want to focus on just selling things that are already selling. Find out what the market wants. If you're a reseller, that means you're selling things that have already been retailed before. So you're kind of chasing what's hot. If you don't know what's hot, how can you chase it? So number 1, spend an hour or 2 a day looking through that. Number 2, you want to pick 1 to 3 niches to really focus in on. As an example, let's say you were selling shoes like me and you wanted to figure out the Alpha Bounce model for Adidas. What you would do is take this exact SKU, find out what it wholesales for, what it retails for, and then what does it actually sell for on eBay, and then figure out what places that you can buy it from. If you ask the question of how can I get Adidas to sell directly to me, the main answer is you just open a clothing or shoe store, call them up, and order wholesale directly from the company. That's the main way to get shoes like Nike or Adidas or Reebok, is you actually have a brick and mortar. Without that, it's very difficult, but again, you wouldn't know that unless you spend time looking into the niche and finding out where these products come from. So get really, really good at 1 to 3 niches and start with just picking 1 SKU and following it all the way to where it comes from. Number 3, create a grading system for yourself. Figure out what you like to sell. Does it have to be small? Is it light? Is it expensive? What category is it? Grade these on a scale of 1 to 100 and figure out what it is that you like. You need this grading system because there are millions of products that you can sell. And you need a filter to help you figure out what you're going to get really good at, what you like selling. If you like selling certain items, there's more of a chance that you'll do this long enough to actually build up $75,000 worth of inventory. So number 3, create a grading system. Number 4, you want to find what I call an unfair advantage. Why can you sell this better than other people? Is it because it's manufactured in your area? Are you really good at shipping? Are you selling dishwashers? Because that's probably very difficult and would require an understanding of how to ship freight. Figure out a unique advantage to you, because if you're competing only on price, that's really dangerous because it becomes a race to the bottom and your margins always get reduced each time you discount your item. I would rather you not be the cheapest and just find something that's either rare or you found a way to advantageously sell it. Number 5, you want to focus on why a supplier would want to work with you. Okay, so you can't just be in your garage and say, hey, I want to resell your hot items. Can you sell them to me for really cheap? That's not very attractive. You got to figure out a way to make your store and your business more desirable to the person with the goods. That's either, partnering up with a brick and mortar, getting a warehouse. It might be having a really nice website. It might be having a really good track record. It might be that your kids go to dance together. That's usually the easiest way. Finding a personal connection is oftentimes a lot stronger than a business relationship, but you need both, in my opinion. So brainstorm why people want to work with you. That's really going to help you get that supply part. So again, this is the strategy. One main goal, $50,000 a year. 3 strategies. This first strategy is make a sourcing system, and then 5 ways to accomplish that one strategy. Let's go into strategy number 2, which is creating a repeatable processing system. Number 1, make 1% workplace improvements every single day to create a compound effect. I really like this book by Darren Hardy. He talks about how all these little changes add up to a massive change. That's how I approach my life and my business. It's really important. That's why this channel is called Daily Refinement. Little tiny incremental improvements. You can't change yourself overnight. This is very much an identity change. The person that earns $50,000 a year acts a certain way. You act the way that you do right now. Slowly morph into that person 1% at a time. Second part, create a clean, clutter-free, well-lit workstation. Each area of your business should have its own area, and it should be well lit. You should actually want to work there. Unfortunately, the space that I work in doesn't have natural lighting, but that would really help me enjoy working here more. Number 3, you want to create checklists in the area. That way you don't forget things. Surgeons often have a checklist to make sure that you don't die while they're stitching you back up. Like the book, the Checklist Manifesto really goes over how you can create checklists that literally make a really complicated task into something that's easily repeatable. So I definitely recommend documenting daily, weekly, and monthly checklists. Number 4, document all your systems in a Google Doc. This is pretty straightforward. I do that. I have all of my processes in a system called the Reseller Field Guide, which you can purchase for $35 in the description below. But again, my guide is going to be different from your guide. So you have to still make your own. I recommend Google Docs because it's very straightforward. Number 5, you want to get your entire process under 10 minutes. Pretty straightforward. Everything that I do here per item, I'm about 6 minutes per item. I recommend getting it to at least 10 minutes per item. That way you're efficient enough at this second process, which is creating a process to get the items from when you buy it to the end customer, the person that bought it online. Number 3, you want to get help to execute your system. This is huge because if you ever want to have a life or take a vacation, or you want to operate really, really well by yourself, you still need to figure out what it would be like to get help. There's a lot of lone wolves that want to run their eBay store by themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but I also want to point out there's no honor in doing it alone. You don't get a special gold star at the end of your life if you do everything by yourself. I actually think it's better to share your gift and your store with other people, because that way you're actually helping the community. You're not just in it just for you. So number 1, you want to make your expectations with people working with you or for yourself very, very clear. You want to have your processes visible. And that's really the number 1 thing when it comes to getting help. People want to know exactly what they're getting paid for and what's expected of them. The higher you raise that, basically the more you have to pay. Number 2, you want to create the proper incentives. Some people have an hourly, some people have a per item, some people have per item plus a commission on the back end. You have to be creative depending on the person that you're working with. Every single person is different. Every single kind of task is different. For me, per piece has worked out just fine because this is very modular work. But if it's creative work like writing titles, that's a little bit more complicated. I might actually do an hourly for that just because it requires a lot more skill to write titles. So it depends on what the task is. You have to create the right incentives. Number 3, you want to hire on character and work ethic. In my opinion, reselling is very simple. Not easy, but simple. All the processes you can figure out in honestly just a couple of weeks. You can figure out how to list and ship things. But that's why I recommend you hire for work ethic. And you want to find people who work hard. And usually people who work hard are not easily accessible. If I put up a Craigslist ad and somebody replies in 5 minutes and they say, I'm free all week, I'm free all month, I'll come in whenever, I just delete that email because that person is not busy. You want to find people who already have time management skills and work ethic in place. You want people to respond back like, I'm a doctor and a lawyer, but I have 10 hours a week where I want to make extra money. That person already knows what they're doing. They already have good time management skills and they already have attention to detail. That's the people that I'm looking for. The best people that I have found are almost always busy students or people with quick serve restaurant experience. If you've worked at a Starbucks before, that's way harder than this. So that makes it easy. If you've worked in a quick serve restaurant, that's actually in my criteria because you're already used to processes and doing things to provide a really high customer experience. Starbucks is the best in my opinion. Okay. Finally, you want to make an ad for a virtual assistant. This is really key. So when you post an ad on, let's say, Upwork.com or onlinejobs.ph, or you work with an agency like me, you need to write an ad and go over what the tasks and responsibilities you want in order to accomplish that task. The best way to do this is to have somebody observe what you actually do. So my agency is called Hammock. I'll include a link in the description below and in this document. You can schedule a free conversation with a VA and just explain what you do. And then the virtual assistant or the manager will write down all the different things you do and they'll quote you how much time they think somebody else could do that task for you. So it's really important to understand what it is that you're doing. And again, I'm not going to hate on people who want to work as a one-man or one-woman show, but I still recommend you have somebody oversee you for a day and figure out exactly what it is that you do. Because if you're a lone wolf and you're doing this by yourself, then at least know how long it takes you to reach your goals. I know, for example, that I can get an item done in 6 minutes, so that's 10 per hour, and I know that I can earn at least $10 profit per item. If I did this myself, I could earn $100 an hour. Okay, that's important to know because I know that if for some reason there was a pandemic and no one could work for you, you would still know how much money you could make working for yourself. So really important. So guys, this is a really long video. I'm actually losing my voice, so I'm going to call it right now. So I appreciate you guys' time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Consider subscribing to this channel if you like tips and tricks. And also smash that notification bell so that you guys know when I upload new videos. So again, appreciate you guys' time. Support the channel. Buy the Reseller Field Guide for $35 in the description with code YouTube. That has all my processes. Also, if you want to join my mastermind group, this is what we talk about. You come up with your business plan. You come into the group every day and you say, this is what went well. This is what didn't go well. And that's it. It's not that complicated. Reselling is not rocket science. So again, I appreciate your guys' time. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Take care.